Over the years, was McCree in motion. Fake it, go over the top, down the sideline. Deuce Robinson is gone. Great ball.
Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Hey, welcome everybody to the gorgeous episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas. As always, I am podcasting on the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle. So check me out there. And you also check me out at, let's go to Blue Sky. So it's PORSBR.bsky.social. So that's PORSBR.bsky.social. And you can check me out there. I'll be transitioning from Twitter or X, whatever, to Blue Sky. So you want to check me out there for thoughts and stuff like that as well. USC wins 28-20. They find a way to win a home game against Nebraska. Up and down, ugly at times, just back and forth game. You kind of felt like it's going to be that kind of game when you have a new play caller for the Cornhuskers, and then you also have a quarterback starting his first game at USC in Jayden who we talked about Jayden a lot on this program with me and Coach B, and we had that conversation a lot. We were like, hey, we didn't never even said like to go ahead and replace Miller Moss. Because that for us, it wasn't about replacing Miller Moss. We're just adding a dynamic dimension of being able to run, option stuff and zone read and zone and read option things that you really can't do with Miller Moss. But Miller Moss, I think, rightfully so, and I hate to tell people this, but played himself into a position where the head coach could make a decision like this. Okay. So when that happens, now he comes in and, we'll talk about the game for a second in a second. But I do want to think one thing that I didn't like online, which I thought was pretty ridiculous online, was the fact that, as soon as he threw that pick six to start the game, immediately everybody said, you guys wanted Jayden Maiava. It was like this whole defending Miller Moss crowd or whatever we wanted, whatever we want to go back and forth with the whole Miller Moss thing. Miller Moss is a good quarterback. He's a nice pocket passer, but when you need something dynamic outside of being in the pocket, he doesn't offer those things for you. And I think that was clear. And when you look at the play caller who is with SC, that he's always had that guy. He's 100% always had that guy. So good to see that he actually that he made the move. And I think at times he put the ball in harm's way in this game a couple of times. But for the most part, I thought Jayden was fine today. He was good. They made some explosive plays. He hit Deuce Robinson on an over route, which was a really cool play and a really good design by Lincoln Riley. Threw a touchdown pass to Zachariah Branch, his first touchdown pass of the year. You kind of felt that was coming. Just move the ball up and down the field. For the most part, I mean, he had the pick six was a really bad play, and I think the worst play was when he was rolling to the right. He had an opportunity to throw the ball out of bounds. He didn't. The defensive lineman forced a fumble. Great play by defensive lineman, and Nebraska, got that and kind of put that into the bank as 3 points. So USC wins this game 28-20, but 10 points were given away by the offense. So that was one thing that I would definitely say. You got 2 more games, hopefully 3 more games, because if they win 1 more game, they're bowl eligible. And that would be cool to see them actually play in a bowl game again. Who knows what the opt-out situation will be, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But this is not a 1-game scenario like Miller Moss was with Holiday Bowl. This is 3 games, possibly 4 with Jayden, to see how he plays and see how he handles this, because quarterback for next year is, I think if Longstreet comes or if Juju comes or whatever, I think the idea would be for that guy to sit for a year. I think that would be the ideal situation, and then start as a sophomore. I don't think Lincoln Riley's not really big on the starting the guys as freshmen, so that's a whole nother show. I don't want to get too much into that stuff. But Jayden, I thought was up and down, but made some really solid plays and big plays when he had to. There was a 4th-and-1 situation in the game, and he ran a little option when Woody almost scored. Woody has these big runs where he just almost scores. In the Michigan game, you saw that, and in this game, you saw that as well. He hits the hole. I think NFL scouts are good. I know the top of the running back tree is the kid from Boise State. He's definitely a Heisman candidate, but I think Woody is going to make a lot of money and be a guy who's going to be in the league for a long time in the National Football League, because he just runs the ball just runs the ball so hard. He always has that forward lean, if you will. Always does a good job with that. And I think Brock Ewart said it today. He is like a walking 4-yard play. Like he's a walking 4. You want 4 yards in a call of dust? I mean, he's definitely gonna give you 4 yards every time he touches it. Today he was 19 carries. Not his normal 15 carries. He had 19 carries today. And then he had 146 yards rushing. And then 7.7 a carry. His long was 34 yards. So that was good to see. Jayden Mayava, 5 carries for 20 yards. 4 yards a carry, had a touchdown, and then 7 carries by Quentin Joyner as well. So they ran the ball as a team 32 times. We've been talking about that forever. USC running the ball 30 times in a game. And we're surprised that they actually won the game because they ran the ball that many times? No, we're not. They ran the ball 30 times in this ball game. They ran it for 182 yards, 5.7 yards a carry. I mean, that's what we wanted. They had a 8-minute drive, a crazy 8-minute drive like that iced the game as well. I'm trying to get the numbers on that drive real quick for you because somebody screenshot it for me. I thought it was like really, it makes all the sense in the world to just kind of run the football well. And then also USC had those sweet uniforms on today from the 70s. John Robinson passed away, so that kind of all fit. It was homecoming, and USC delivered 100% delivered today. I think defensively as well. Defensively they did what they usually do, and they really in this game gave up 10 points in this game. My only beef, and it's a small beef because I love Dan Tinlin. I hope Dan Tinlin is our coordinator for a very long time. And I think for Dan Lynn, he's just parlaying it into what could possibly be something down the road as a head coach down the road. But I think when teams are inside their 5-yard line, and especially have a young quarterback who is kind of questioning his confidence. I personally, just me. I would like to see him blitz and give me some pressure there. But for the most part, they're averaging 20 points a game. And that's all we ever wanted was defense to give 20 points a game. For the moving parts, everything he has on this team, they really don't have great edge rushers yet. They don't have some of the things he wants. They don't have an interior rusher that to speak of, but they still are just great on third down. They get off the field. They give their offense time and time again all year. They've given Lincoln Riley and this offense an opportunity to win games, and that's all you could ever ask for, and that's all we ever asked for from him. And I definitely want to always shout out a good defensive performance because to me, in my mind, they only gave 10 points in this game. Anytime you do that is really, is just icing on the cake as far as that goes. But Woody, I said we're really excited about Woody's performance. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic, and the fact that he stays in and blocks, does a great job with blocking, and pass pro. And it's just kind of like it's a little frustrating because we feel like we wasted a season with Woody because Woody could have in some of these close games really could have helped a lot. There is I don't know what the war was between Miller and Jayden fans. Again, I did not want I wasn't calling for Miller to get replaced until he really started just throwing the frantic INT all the time. You heard Brock Ewart in the game say, you know what? If USC just used a little bit of of Jayden Maiava, maybe Milan Moss has his job still, and maybe USC is has maybe one loss or two losses. That's the reality of it. So I mean, they didn't take care of their business, and for some reason, Lincoln Riley was reluctant to do so. Don't know why, but to me, that was an opportunity lost, a big opportunity lost for SC there. As far as that goes, I thought today was a day where they threw the ball 35 times, still threw it more than they ran it, but it's still nice to see a little balance there. I'll take 32 rushes if I get, and you can have your 35 pass attempts. Deuce Robinson led the team with receiving yards with 90. So great job by Deuce. 4 catches for 90 yards. He had a 48-yard touchdown reception in the ball game. Zachariah Branch got involved with rushing and passing and all that stuff like that. So 6 catches for him on 41 yards. They were trying to get him the ball. Makai had 2 yards, and I don't see. Listen, some people said that Jacoby Lane played. I didn't see Jacoby Lane take the field at all today. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's always a little bit of drama. There was drama this entire bye week for USC, and that was it. That was it. I thought defensively, Cobb played well. Arnold EMA did not play. I thought he played great. He had one mistake where he on losing contain on a running back on a pass play. Jalen Smith has been fantastic all year. So shout out to him. And then the pressure. The pressure is just they don't have great pressure on this team. They really don't have guys who can really get to the quarterback. They had like a delayed snap on the play, and I think Elijah Hughes got to end up getting a sack, tackle for loss in that situation. So they had 2 sacks, and the offensive line only gave up 1 today. And I think Coach B says it all the time too, and I've been saying it all the time too. Is like, I think maybe Mason Murphy is the guy who really struggles the most. But for the most part, like when you break it down, they have been a good offensive. Ever since the Michigan game, every week they've gotten better and better and better. Like there hasn't been a game where like it's constant pressure or the balls. Or you're seeing a bunch of sacks here and there all the time. Like you're not seeing those plays. So I would definitely want to give the offensive line a lot of credit. Whenever you run the football. Well, there was 1 sack in the game, and by Nebraska, who has some pros on the defensive line, especially in a defensive tackle situation. They have really good players there. But you give up 1 sack and you rush the ball for 100, almost 200 yards, 182 yards. So you got to give him credit for that. I mean, that's just really solid play by him. I think Henson has to get on the ball as far as recruiting goes, but I think coaching wise, they did a really good job. So you got to give him a little bit of credit for that as well. See, Gavin Meyer Cameron Fountain had a really good run stop that got negated because of a penalty. So we had that, but I do think as far as the game flow goes, there is this thing where Lincoln kind of waits till the second half to come out with things. And I thought that in the first half, you can still get things going in the first half. I think that was my biggest thing where it was just like I was kind of like, let's just get these things, get the offense and get the troops in line early in the game so we're not wasting half of football. If you will. I just kind of hate to see that USC kind of waste those things. And I think also after turnovers, after a big play like a kickoff return, punt return, those kind of things, you just see it over and over again where like he just doesn't have they end up getting a 3-and-out right afterwards. Like the defense, Jalen Smith's interception was great coverage. He did a great job, and then 3-and-out. Like you got to be able to capitalize on those moments because it just pushes the lever in your direction, even more so because it energizes the defense tremendously to know that their turnover led to points directly. They love that stuff. So I don't know how to fix that one, but at the very least, I thought that they played well. The discipline in the first half was not the best as far as, they got some personal foul penalties that were really costly. Could have had more points. in this game. Again, this offense really, like, they scored 7 points in every quarter. They could have. I mean, I know this is a good defensive team, but they really could have had, a lot more points. Also, shout out to Kyron Hudson, who had a couple contested catches today. I think Kyron might need the visor for the sun, because he was having trouble with the sun today, all day today, if you will, to try to catch some passes that were high in the bright sun out there in Southern California. Also would have been, I think, yeah, and we also had in the game where there was a great play call by Lincoln Riley that led to Walker Lyons being wide open. He missed them. Too bad he got pressure, but if he stood in there and just delivered the ball, would have been a touchdown. But Walker Lyons, I think, is going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one. I've talked about his blocking before as well. He's a willing blocker, and I think he's doing a great job. I think he's doing a great job. And I think next year you're going to see a lot of things from Walker Lyons, as well. So, 28-20. This is our instant reaction to the Trojans win. 5-5 on the season now, 3-5 in conference, which is just, like I said, it's sickening to look at. But they do have opportunity to at least make a bowl game. Hopefully it's, the LA Bowl, something close. It was something close, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, SC has to just continue to make strides, do what they're doing, and just finish out the season as strong as you can. You got two rivals back to back. I don't love the rivals back to back, but at the very least, you get back to back games with UCLA, and then you get another game with Notre Dame. And this isn't the game with Notre Dame is a big one. The game with Notre Dame was going to be huge, because you can pretty much knock them out of the playoff. It's going to be very difficult for Notre Dame to make the playoff when their resume says they have 2 losses to 2 unranked teams. And I haven't checked where Northern Illinois is right now in the standings in their conference, or what their record is, but I mean, they're still an unranked team. So you lose 2 games to 2 unranked teams, then you gotta figure out, like, is that team worthy of a spot in the college football playoff? So, all right, Student Body Right, USC podcast. We'll be doing some more stuff coming up here. Coach B will stop by and give us some real insight for his feelings about the game. But it was a big game, man. It was a big game because this team was bleeding out, and they made the move to move from Miller Moss, and now it's Jayden Mayapa's team, and it's his audition. It's his audition to be the quarterback next year. And this is what he came to USC for. And so hopefully he's able to keep that going in the right direction for the Trojans. And I want to shout out to the Polynesian community. I know a lot of people who are from that community and living in Southern California. And I gotta say, like, I know that this win, Jayden's performance, meant a lot to them. It means a lot to that community. They're a very tight-knit community, very religious community. And it meant a lot to them to see Jayden go out there and win this game and play well. Just having him come out on the field, as a starting quarterback for SC, first one ever from Polynesian heritage. So good job by Jayden. Get that win. You take a day off and then you go back to work, and then you see if they're able to clean up some of the things that he missed in this game and get ready for UCLA out there in the Rose Bowl. All right, Somebody Right, USC podcast. See you next time. As always, fight on.